What is up, Waffle Gang? I do hope you are well. My name is Mark, and today we're covering some more r/am I the butthole. If you'd like to skip the initial waffle, timestamps are in the description and along the timeline below. But if you are new here, please consider hitting that like, that subscribe, and maybe that notification bell too. And with that being said, let's just get straight in to today's stories. Much love, guys. Now today we're going to cover some stories with updates on too, so I hope you do enjoy those. And we're going to be starting off with Trash 4230 with Am I the Arsehole Making My Father Kick Out Sister-in-Law and Brother? I, 30 female, am currently in a leading position of a restaurant franchise started by me and my father. We live in an Islamic country, so me being one of the owners is very rare. I have 3 siblings, 1 brother 29 male and 2 sisters twins 13 female. The business started by me, my father and his friend's son became extremely successful. My brother was never interested in it, but after it grew, my father provided him a position in an IT department. He did his degree in software engineering. Apart from that, we were not that well off. My father also provides every family member with a set allowance separate from our salaries. My brother got married a year ago and his wife also receives it. My father now plans to retire and my sister-in-law thinks it's now brother's turn to be the man of the house. She's been making a lot of remarks lately. We all live together. In a normal situation this would have been the case, but I own this business too, and I've been putting in most of the work. I ignored her in the beginning. My mum has been asking to think about marriage as well. As she was talking to me, my sister-in-law told me that I really should, since my father will retire and my brother will be the one in charge. So I told her these are all her delusions, since after my father it is me who is the candidate. My father wishes as well, and I already own part of the business. Upon hearing this, she became quiet, but has been making my mum turn against me. My mum was always against me working, but because of my father, she couldn't do anything. 3 days ago, my father announced that he was retiring and has decided to let me take the lead now. He acknowledged my hard work and said that I was most suited. My sister-in-law and my mother both opposed it very, very strongly. According to them, it's the birthright of my brother, the only son to take the business. My father shut it down then, but my sister-in-law in the moment pointed at me and told me I was a thief and I will burn in hell and said a lot of things. My father then told both of my brother and sister to get out of his house. If they don't leave now, my brother can say goodbye to his job and allowance too. They have left, but I have been getting messages from relatives and even my own mother about how greedy I am and for stealing something that belonged to my brother. I was very convinced in the beginning, but now actually hearing these things and knowing my religion, I think what they are saying is true and wanted judgment of internet strangers to finally decide something. So Reddit, am I the arsehole? This has just got to be a simple case of you've worked the hardest so you deserve it. I mean, what gives them a right to have it just because he's male or what? Come in here with that man of the house bullshit. Get it out of here. You deserve it. You worked the hardest and it's as simple as that really, I think. But we're going to go straight to the update with this one to find out what happened afterwards. At the time of writing that post, I was very emotional and it really hurt to see my mother picking a side against me. So after a week, my brother contacted, he apologized for his wife's behavior. He said he didn't have the guts to tell his wife he actually doesn't want anything with the business. He said he was always content with what he had and knew from the start that it should be me. He actually saw the post. We talked a lot and before his marriage we actually used to be really close and how he wants the same relationship back. I was happy to hear and he is my only brother and I love him to death, but I did warn him about his wife. He just said he is considering everything right now and this whole incident has opened his eyes. I talked to my mum after that she admit that she just wants me to get married. She always wished that for me, but I was able to make her realise that this is actually what I want to do with my life. So she has not have been able to fully accept it yet, but she is getting there. As for my father, after that whole thing, he's already put everything in place and actually wanted me to take the position in front of him so that no one can contest it. I'm in a better place than I had been when I was writing my post. Thank you Reddit for making me realise my importance. Thank you for everyone who reached. I cannot thank you guys enough. And that is the kind of update we need. I mean, it might be a shame that your brother's considering his whole life right now, his whole relationship, but you might get that relationship back with your brother too, the one that you had before all this sort of shit hit the fan, which will be a great thing. And I'm glad your mum's turned around and just sort of admitted what she really wants. I mean, she's not quite accepted it right now, but who knows in the future? Well, she's going to have to, isn't she really? And we're not going to cover the comments on this one because it's a wholesome ending and I like to leave it there. It's a good ending. Let's not Reddit it right now. But what do you guys think of this story? Have you ever had anything similar happen to you before? Let us know in the comments below. And our next story is from Nox. Am I the arsehole for not wanting to get a job? The title sounds bad, I know, but please, wise people have read it, just hear me out. Also, English is not my first language, so sorry for any mistakes. My boyfriend, 29 male, and I, 27 female, have been together for 3 years now, and we decided that it was time to live together. Some background information: he's an engineer working for a big company in my country, and I'm a writer. I also own 2 apartments in a very popular and nice area in the city where we live that I rent for extra income. They belong to my grandparents, and as the only grandchild, I inherited them when they died. Even though the pandemic hit my country hard, I did not experience any difficulties because my tenants have kept paying me rent. Therefore, my income hasn't changed at all. I'm not a millionaire by any means, but I can live comfortably just renting my properties. On to the main issue. We decided that I would move to my boyfriend's flat, as it is bigger than the one I currently live in, and we agreed that we would go 50-50 on everything: rent, utilities, groceries, etc. I would do more household chores than him since I work from home, but I had no problem with this, of course. However, my boyfriend is now saying that I should look for a real job because it would be unfair that you stay at home all day doing nothing while I work. I'm currently working with my editor to finish my first novel in my series, which will consist of 3 books, so it's not like I do nothing all day. I refuse to do so because 1, I have a real job, an extra source of income, and 2, I can pay my share of the living costs without any problem. He insists that I'm being unreasonable. Am I the arsehole? The cheeky so-and-so to say being a writer isn't a job. How dare he? He's a bloody rude sod at that. Let's put it that way. And what is with the attitude that I work, so you have to work too? That's just like out of spite. I'd really consider a relationship that's built around that. If he's got that kind of attitude and he's not just happy for you to be able to live your dream and do writing, then I'd be really concerned about that sort of mentality if I was you. But Gandalf Magic Fruit says, not the arsehole. He sounds like an arse. An anonymous difficulty says, not the arsehole whatsoever. He is being extremely rude. Being a writer is a job. You also have a steady source of income, and you don't do nothing. You work hard. He's thrown a fit. Stand your ground and explain to him that writing is absolutely a real job. You absolutely do work. You're being very fair with the chores and money, and that you will not go get a different job. If he doesn't respect that, consider this relationship is healthy or not. And Special Francine says, not the arsehole, you're contributing fairly to the household expenses, so no issue there. And the line of it not being fair that you stay at home. What a joke. He needs to grow up if that's his perception of unfair. And real job, what does that even mean? Now we're going to head over to the update to see what happens in this juicy story. So I posted this some days ago and a lot of things have happened since then. Of course, I sat down with my boyfriend to talk about his sudden change of attitude towards my job as a writer, and I told him that it was very disrespectful to tell me that I have to get a real job when I already have one. I told him that I was considering ending the relationship too because of that. However, I also asked him if there was something that he wasn't telling me because of this behaviour was not normal at all. At first, he doubled down on saying that there was nothing that he wasn't telling me, but after insisting a bit more, he admitted that he was jealous of me. He said that he hates his job. This was quite a surprise, not gonna lie, and he resents seeing me so happy and fulfilled with mine. The fact that I have another source of income only makes his jealousy worse because I'm pretty independent and can stop working whenever I want. His words, not mine. However, he said he was willing to let me continue writing if I also work somewhere else to make things fair. I was flabbergasted. I love this word, to say the least. So yeah, I broke up with him. It hurts, but I'll live. Maybe this will give me ideas for another novel. Haha. Thank you all for your advices and kind words. They've been really helpful. And there's 3 edits after this post just thanking everyone for the advice and all the love they gave to that person, you know, because it's really helped them along. Which I think was inevitable, really. If you're going to be jealous of your own partner for doing something they love and making them happy, you know, what is there, right? But that significance says to that, lol, I'm so glad to read that you dumped him. Imagine being mad that your SO is happy and then straight up coming out and saying you're willing to let her go on with the activity that is both fulfilling and a source of income, as long as she makes an effort to make herself more miserable. You don't need this kind of toxic, controlling BS in your life. And Haploid Life says, anytime I hear that line, that they'll let you if, just say hell no. Sweetie, you're not going to let me. You don't get to tell me what to do. OP, you may be hurting right now, but you saw a major red flag and instead of ignoring it, you ran. Good for you. Now go write and PM me when you have that book or an article for me to read. And Amara Undone says, oh, we ain't seen that name in a while. Wow, let you keep writing. So long, OP's ex. And it was the thing at the end as well, to make things fair. I mean, what the bloody hell, man? What would you do in that situation? And what do you think of this story? Let me know in the comments below. And our next story is from Keep My Dog. Am I the arsehole for not wanting to get rid of my dog for my pregnant sister? Throwaway account, obviously. So my 15 male dad died not that long ago. It'd be 6 months next week. My mum moved us out of our house because she said it hurt her too much to be there, and now we're living in this new house for 2 months now, and I hate it. Last month my 20-year-old sister told us she's pregnant, so now her and my mum are getting ready for a baby in the house. To be honest, I'm not really excited like them, but I thought whatever. Until yesterday, my sister told me I have to get rid of my dog before the baby comes. I asked her why, and she said because dogs are bad for pregnant women and newborn babies because they carry germs and parasites. I told her that's not true. I always bathe my dog. He has all his shots and we take him to the vet regularly. He's also been around lots of babies before and he's super friendly to them, so he can't be a danger to her baby. My sister got mad, so she got my mum involved. She told my mum I was being a brat and I don't care that I'm poisoning her baby. I told my mum I didn't want to get rid of my dog. My dad bought him for me as a puppy on my 9th birthday. There's been lots of changes these months, losing my dad, us moving, and now getting ready for a new baby. My dog is the last connection to my dad. My mum's not home much, neither is my sister, so I feel like all I have is my dog. I explained to my mum why I don't want to get rid of him. She said she understands he's important to me, but I need to stop thinking about myself and consider my baby niece or nephew. I said I don't even believe my dog is bad for my sister's pregnancy. She never liked him since dad bought him, and I feel like she's using this to get him out of our house. My mum said she isn't going to force me to get rid of him and she'll leave it up to me. My sister's been mad since and keeps making comments about how she hopes me taking my sweet time deciding what to do won't damage her baby. They're both expecting me to do the right thing, but I don't know if I want to. Does that make me bad? Am I the arsehole because I want to keep my dog? P.S. My dog avoids my sister, but she treats him bad if he's close, so it's not like he'll be all over her. Now, we've seen these dog stories before where someone wants to get rid of a dog, but your sister is being entitled, selfish, and just absolutely crazy right now for you wanting to get rid of a dog that your dad got you. And even if she is using it as an excuse too, it's absolutely shitty behavior. Don't get rid of the dog, but also show that you can look after it to these people because they will use any excuse they can right now to get rid of that dog. And I'd even keep an eye on it because, you know, we've seen in these stories in the past that they go behind their people's back, they take the dog for a walk, and it doesn't come back and all this kind of stuff. So be extra vigilant. But Can't Get Right 10 says, not the arsehole, need to get rid of your sister. Where's the baby daddy? And OP replies, I don't know, she was dating the security guy for a couple of months before they broke up, but she was also going out with some other guy I never met. Wow, she sounds like a catch. And Riri says, not the arsehole, please do not get rid of the dog, your dad got you. Your sister is being selfish and dramatic. The dog can't harm her child. Make sure you demonstrate that you're a good dog owner. Clean up after them, take for walks, etc. Make sure they are cared for well, entertained and microchipped in case they suddenly become lost due to your sister. You've gone through significant trauma, heartbreak and loss at a young age. Your dog is your family. Millions of people across the world have dogs and kids. In fact, most dog owners have family. Put simply, it's not an issue. Your sister is being uncaring and manipulative. Don't get rid of the dog based on her lies. Don't let them bully you. The right thing to do is honour your dad's memory by giving that dog a great life with the person he bought the dog for. That's you. I hope you're okay. Stay strong. Feel free to DM me if you need to vent. And OP replies again saying, I've always done my best to prove myself as a good dog owner. That was my dad's condition if I wanted to have a dog on my own and learn to be responsible for him. He made sure I was the one doing the walks, cleaning after him, giving baths, feeding him every day, etc. No one else does it. Yeah, he got out once and my dad got him chipped after that. And thanks, I appreciate that. My mum hasn't talked to me much, so it's felt like I haven't been able to say anything to anyone. Absolutely crazy. But now we're going to move on over to the update to see what's happening there. I read lots of people's comments to this and I was really happy to know that I wasn't hurting my sister or her baby by having my dog around. A lot of you sent me some good info. I decided to show what some of you commented to my mum and sister as proof that my dog isn't bad since she was so worried. Also told my mum I'm not going to get rid of my dog because he means too much to me and that would hurt him too. My mum agreed with me more after showing her the info and said my dog doesn't have to go anywhere. My sister seemed more mad after, not just because of the info, but that I told a bunch of strangers our business. She didn't see the post though. My sister still kept pushing to get rid of him because she doesn't want to be around him while she's living there. My mum and her ended up having a big fight over it. There was lots of yelling and arguing for days until finally my sister said she's leaving unless we get rid of him. She said it like a threat, I guess, because she thought that would make my mum make me give him away. My mum didn't want her to leave, but that's what she ended up doing because I wouldn't give up my dog. For months it's been like this. She moved in with one of her best friends, I think, but she doesn't want to talk to my mum at all. For a long time my mum was even more sad, and that actually made me start to feel guilty again because it seemed like this was all my fault. Things weren't good for a while. My mum was talking to me less and felt like we were strangers living together instead of family, but she said it wasn't my fault what happened, so it's not like she was mad at me for my sister leaving. She's just sad about everything that made her not talk or be around me. Finally, after months, my mum and me are talking better again, and she's actually spending a little more time with me. It's not like the same anymore though. My sister still hasn't called us, and I don't know when she's due, but it should be really soon. Everything didn't happen the way I hoped it would, but I'm happy to still have my dog around. He helped me deal with everything. Thank you to everyone for showing me I made the right decision keeping him. You made it easier to give them all this info about how wrong my sister was about dogs affecting pregnancy, and showed me I wasn't doing anything bad for wanting to keep the last connection I have to my dad. He's still here by my side, and I'm grateful for all the support. And a bit of a crazy ending to that story, but I think it ended in the best way possible. Your sister was the one who was being totally selfish in this situation, not you. You'll just want to keep on something, a memory of your dad, and look after the dog. Let's not forget the dog is a life too, and it's become connected to you as a person. So to give it away based on this story is absolutely insane. Well done for you for keeping the dog and standing your ground. Do not feel guilty at all for your sister's shitty behavior. And there is just one comment I want to read on this one, which was from By Huntress, which says, I'm happy it worked okay-ish, but I hope you know there is a very good high chance that your sister will come crawling back after the baby is born. With the way her attitude was, she'll likely try and hold out on the guilt trip, but she's 20 and, is her man even in the picture? Newborns are hard. She's going to reach out to your mum when realization hits her in the face. She'll probably throw some guilt tripping and maybe use the baby as leverage, but hold strong because she's going to realize she needs family and support. Edit, because people going a little crazy and the weird spelling mistakes. Sorry, I was balancing the 1-year-old. And that's true. She is likely to come back at some stage. You know, she's gone to a friend's house. How long is that friend going to want a newborn in the house? Not very long. I'm going to tell you that right now. So she will be back at some point. So you need to be ready for that too. But now, what would you do in this situation if you was in OP's position? How would you handle it? How would you deal with it? Would you consider getting rid of your dog to keep the peace with your sister, or would you say no and stand your ground? And I always worry about these stories with dogs, that at some point, and we've seen it time and time again, people just walking away with a dog saying, oh, I'll walk the dog today, and then coming back with just the lead and say, oh, sorry, it ran away, and they give it to a dog shelter or something like that, and you never see them again. We've seen it before, so be extra vigilant, please. But I turn this one to you guys. What would you do in this situation? Let me know in the comments below. Now, once again, guys, thank you for being here today. Your support is absolutely phenomenal. And do not forget that. It really does mean the world to me. And as always, you can support the channel through YouTube membership with that join button down below, heading on over to Patreon. And also we have a merch store. All the links are down in the description below. Feel free to go and check them out, or don't. You being here is more than enough. And remember that. Much love, guys. And I will see you in the next one. Take care, guys. Goodbye now.